You need a little bit of main character energy. Like,
but some people don't want it. You know, I had my conversation with my sister yesterday. She's like, I don't want the attention. She was like, you've always liked attention. You know, she's like, we're so different, right? And I'm like, you don't want the attention, but yet when you get a compliment, you come on yourself. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like, it's like an orgasm, it's orgasmic. You get it, you know, someone tells you look pretty.
Thanks for watching, guys. Today's episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile. Today's episode is about fashion. No, it's not about fashion. It will be about fashion, but it is more than a fashion conversation. June Ambrose has helped build the visual identity of hip-hop from the ground up and many other things. She has many accolades. She has done this as a woman, a black woman, a self-taught, no roadmap. She raised a generation of stylists. She's raised 2 children, all while busting her ass. For over 25 years, she's dressed icons like Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, Missy Elliott, and so many more. And she's now celebrating her own capsule collection with Naturalizer, which she has on today, and they're so cute. We'll get a close-up of them later. And she's just a badass. We love her. June Ambrose is in the building today.
That was like my favorite introduction. Now I feel like I don't have to say anything.
That's it. You're just here.
I always like Google me. No.
Hi, June.
How are you?
June. Oh, June.
No, Angie.
How is life? How is real life?
Life is good.
Is it?
Life is good. I mean, you know, I'm an empty nester now, so I'm adjusting.
Oh, that's tough.
It is. It is like, you feel like I have like new skin. Like I have 2 adults that really don't need me like they used to. And they need me in a different way.
Yeah.
But so I feel like I'm my second half of the game.
We've had this conversation a few times on the pod because Lala came here right after Cayenne went to school.
Yeah.
And it was her only son. She's a single mom.
Oh my goodness.
It really hit her hard.
Oh yeah. My friends with the only one child thing, I always check on them. It's like, you know, like,
are you okay?
Yeah, are you okay? when Summer went to college, everybody was, because they know how close my daughter and I am, and they're like, but my son and I are very close too, but they were just like, are you okay? But Summer and I are very visible. Like we're like, you know, we're the June and Summer show.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am okay because I've spent so much time with her. I'm actually happy for them. Like I felt good. I felt accomplished. Like I had raised humans, not by myself, obviously, but like that I had raised young adults that were ready. And that to me is why I'm okay.
But do you miss them?
Oh my goodness. Like,
do they talk? You talk every day?
It's like a thing. Like it's Summer at least 4 or 5. My son, he'll go off in the wind. He's gone with the wind. But like, yeah, we're a speaking family. We have a family group chat. Like it's important that we speak constantly. And there's so much going on in the world. And Summer's out of state and she's a sheltered baby child, but very impressively independent.
There is so much going on in the world.
There is.
That it's like, who did I see the other day post? I think it was Adrienne Bailon. She posted that she's navigating her political rage while also exercising self-care. She was on her way to the gym trying to...
It's a really good way to put it.
Right? Like trying to manage that balance. How do you do that, June?
Oof, you know, I prefer to lean on the side of joy because I know what grief feels like, and that's way too heavy. And when I experienced it for the first time, because I realized I've never been sad, and because I'm just always like, people like, you live on another planet. That's why I came up with the Juniverse, because I'm literally happy all the time.
Are you really? Is that real?
It's real.
It is real?
It's an endorphin realness. Yeah, it's like it's a little girl thing. It's a sense memory that I've tapped into that I know to constantly tap into it, right? And I think secretly the years of studying theater and drama, being a theatrical major, I don't tell that to a lot of people, has taught me how to tap into sense memories that enable me to stay mentally solid. Because even on a bad day or if I'm disappointed, I can remember the things that brought me joy. I tap into them like an actress would tap into something that needs her to cry. You know, that exercise, that's a muscle. You know, like joy is a muscle. You have to exercise what that feels like and know that it's okay to keep lifting that.
I don't understand how you do that. Explain. No, teach me that, because okay, so it's a bad day. We're at war.
Yeah.
My thing broken. My this, that. My mother's sick. Whatever could be going on is going on.
Yeah.
And now today I need to tap into some joy.
It's like sex. You have to be present, right? Into like what is going to make you feel good and what's feeling good in that moment.
Okay, how
in
do you
order
do
to
it?
get to that climactic place. So think about that experience. I
Yeah.
know it's probably a weird
No,
thing
please,
'cause it's
whatever
so,
works.
sex is so private.
Yeah.
But you have to be present in it, or you don't get to enjoy it, right? So it's like joy is the same way. It's like that feeling of what makes you give you butterflies, what makes you giggle, what makes you laugh, what makes you want to dance, that song that just makes you feel so good, you high. Like I've never had a drink or smoke in my life, and people always think I'm stoned at parties or I'm at clubs because I'm like,
You've never had a
table.
cocktail?
Never.
I just said to you, because I was going to take you golfing. I was like, oh, we have a cocktail. And you were like, oh, yeah, cocktail.
Yeah, of course,
But
it'd be a mocktail for me.
It'd be a mocktail.
Yeah, frogtail.
So and all this joy all the
Yeah.
time.
I was always a happy kid. So, because I didn't have, I was so spoiled and didn't have a lot of responsibility. But as an adult, we have so many, and that could be a real drag.
Yeah.
So I'm always asking my young self to please just remind me of what that felt like to have no responsibility.
All right, but tell me a time when you were down and then had to find the joy, and then how you found it.
Oh, man, when my mom passed away.
When was that?
8 years ago. And it feels like yesterday. And I realized I never knew what sadness felt like. It was so foreign to me.
By the way, how blessed are you that you didn't know what sadness felt
I
like
really
until
didn't.
8 years ago?
Right?
Wow.
That was because I was always sheltered from when someone died, no, June's not going to the funeral, or, I was always sheltered, from all of that. They protected me from those kind of things. So I'm very sensitive. An ambulance would go by and I'd be like, someone's dying. And I'd start crying as a kid. I was so emotional. I hate people to be sad, or I hate to see people in pain. I just feel
you're an empath.
I'm so empathetic.
Yeah.
And so, yes, and
so your parents
that took navigating.
understood that.
Yeah, my mother was, she understood that, and she really nurtured me with that. But interesting enough, when she was preparing to leave, she told me that it was okay to go. I had left town. So when I got the news, I was in California, and I was getting ready for the On the Run tour. And I wasn't going to go, obviously, because she was, sick in the hospital. So I was trying to figure out how to if maybe I could just prep it. And, I never go on the road for one. I don't travel if I design the tour, and then the wardrobe supervisors and the team take it over. I'm never on the road with it. But this time, she had transitioned over, and the tour was going out, and I had to be in Paris with J&B maybe 2 weeks later. And I didn't want to grieve in front of my kids. And my husband we had talked about it as a family, and he said if there was any two people that I think, that I would feel okay with you being around during this time, it would be those two. Ugh, I hate talking about it. It gets me emotional.
You make me cry.
And
I get it.
Yeah, I was having grief attacks constantly. And yeah, Jay got me through it. Yeah, he did.
How so?
He said it was okay. He said, just let it run through you. And how people be like, don't cry, let it go.
Cry.
Mm-hmm. And he said it was okay to be, you feel guilty, you're at work and you're looking at, we're looking at rehearsals, and I'm finding something just the switch just turns off and just, And he would look over at me and I would just be crying. I'd be like, I'm so sorry. And he's just like, it's okay. It's
That's kindness.
It's empathy and kindness, and I've known him for so many years, and if he could ever, as a friend, if anyone could ever give me anything, it was that. The grace of just being there while I go through the most life-changing experience of my life. And it ended up being one of the most, creative for me, I needed a new reset creatively. I look back at photos, I don't even look like myself. I'm like, who is that person? I just look so different, but I felt like I looked like my mother so much. And I had so many life-changing experiences in Paris as I was going through it. I had my team around me, which was great.
That was a great tour too.
Oh man, and
I did Nice.
So it was like
I did the Nice show.
Yeah, I just remember the first time I smiled or laughed during that time, that grief period when you kind of people say you sit shiva, where you feel like you're not supposed to do anything that you feel guilty about feeling that joy because you're paying respect to that person that you've lost. And every city that I went to, I visited, I put a lock of my mother's initial on. I left it in every city, on a fence, on a bridge, something. I was getting locks in every city, and I was locking her initial. I was taking her with me through that travel, and all the places that I knew she would want me to see and go. So
she knew that's where you were going.
She knew
you were going on that tour.
She knew that I had work. She would always just be like, go to work. Because when you have your own business and the phone rings, you got to take that job. You got to take that gig because you're self-employed and you're the CEO and you have to run. It doesn't work without you. So she knew that, and I think that she knew she let go just in time.
Hey guys, so today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet, Florida's sportsbook. March is here, and that means college basketball takes center stage. The stakes are rising, the shots are falling, and now's the time to hit the hardwood with Hard Rock Bet. With hoops on every night is a shot to build a same game parlay and score a major bucket. And listen guys, if you ever miss tip off of the big game, don't worry, because Hard Rock Bet lets you live bet all game long from the first bucket to the final buzzer. So you're never too late to find a winner or grab that player prop that you had circled. Sign up today and double your winnings on your first 10 bets. That's maximum $50. That's right. So if you would have won $100 on your same game parlay, that now is $200. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida, and it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, Colorado, and Michigan. Coming soon to more states too. Plus, Hard Rock Bet offers new promos daily. So whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what they've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit every day.
I want to make sure we go back to your mother because I'm sure there's so much influence in who you've become and your fashion sense and all of that stuff from your mom. So I do want to get to that. But something you just said is interesting to me because whether it's J or B or your family or your siblings or your best friends, it's like when we go through these dark times sometimes, because I do the same thing you do, I don't want to bring my sadness in a room. Oof. Especially when you're dealing with creatives.
Oh my goodness.
When they got to go on stage and bring joy to millions of people, you're in the dressing room with them backstage in your grief.
We're not just wallpaper. We're
you're in their space.
We're energy. Yeah. We're energy, and you know this because over 30 years being around creatives, and that's why I've always approached it from a collaborative space, so they recognize that I'm an artist too, and I'm serious about my shit too, you know. So it's like the same way that you're passionate about what you do when you're in that booth, and you're, and if I have to put looks to the lyrics, then I'm sensitive about my shit too. But I don't make it about me, and I give so much to making sure that they're prepared and they feel safe. And that they feel like they can own this, moment. I think the best work is done when you can't tell someone else did it for them. I think that's when it's truly authentic.
Yeah.
That to me is at the heart of what a good costume designer or stylist would do.
Collaborator
in general, right?
Yeah.
A good co-writer.
Yeah.
You're with your writing team in the studio, all that.
Yeah. I just think it's special when you have, when you're able to find your safe spaces to have those moments, because especially women, right? Women in business, women who have to.
We're nurturers.
The way we came up, we're not only nurturers, but we have to. There's a strength that we carry around, and so in our most vulnerable or sad or. Sometimes, we don't want to bring that in a room.
Right. I'd never want to bring it in a room.
Yeah.
And sometimes you walk into a room and you have to read the room quickly and know what you need to give someone in that moment. And sometimes it's just quiet.
I just wonder what gave you the comfort to be okay to share yourself in that moment.
The permission, right? It's like, I had to give myself permission to do that. Because growing up, single parent home, you do a lot of, I was a latchkey kid. You do a lot of self-reflecting. You know, your parents can only do so much, right? Like my mom was such a we're back to her again. I think she's at the center of everything. Yeah, she's
here in the room.
She couldn't be there. She couldn't watch us 24/7 because she was providing. So it was like, we had to take responsibility at a very early age for our actions and recognizing that they had consequences. Everything that we did not only affected us, but it would affect her. And we didn't want to disappoint because we recognized what she was sacrificing at a very young age. Not because she, you know, I never got a spanking. My mother wasn't a yeller. You know, it's like a punishment lasted maybe 30 minutes because she felt bad for me pouting in the corner. It's like, you're not ta-da. So I was like, I'm like the epitome of spoiled, right? Like, just a hot mess.
You were coddled.
So I think I was coddled. So when you say what gave me the permission, it's like, I didn't know any other way but to get what I wanted. You know, so I was always very precocious. I was always just like, why not?
Right. Why
not try this? Who's going to stop me? There was no one to stop. And then as a parent, when she was supposed to kind of protect me from fashion decisions, and I just remember, never forget this night day. Mom was like, it's snowing outside. I always wanted to wear my church clothes to school. It was a thing. I always wanted to wear my Sunday dress with sneakers or boots or just disrupt things, take it out of context. And that was who I always was from a very young age. And she was like, you cannot wear your church shoes with your sweatpants or your jeans. Those are your church shoes and it's slippery and you're gonna fall. I'm like, I was like, it's my outfit. I was like, it was a big fight. She was like, go. I leave out of that building. I come back 5 minutes later crying.
Busted your ass.
Busted my ass. Bruised up, slid down the hill.
But cute though.
But cute. And she said, I told you, I'm not telling you because I want to change who you are. I was just telling you because I'm trying to protect you. Yeah. But the beautiful thing is she didn't overproduce me. So I was always able to wear a cape, you know, at a very young age. And even growing up in the Bronx, they didn't understand what I was giving. They used to call me all kind of names. And we were, you know, I'm from the West Indies, so being cool, being Caribbean back then was not cool. Before the Fugees, you were they would say all kind of horrible, derogatory things to people with accents. Yeah. And being from the islands was not a thing. And this is black on black crime. Wow. Hispanics slurring at us. I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. Abuelita, you know, dame un coquito, you would think I was Puerto Rican. Yeah, I was from the Bronx. Yeah. But the discrimination against, Hispanics and blacks back then was no different than what it was black and white. It was unreal. Yeah. It's mind blowing. Yeah. So, we've all experienced it in some way. Yeah. I think I've gotten it from every way.
I love that she gave you that type of permission. Yeah. So wait, so you're young, you have all these little cute looks going on. This is clearly this is a gift, right? Your fashion sense, what do you attribute that to? Is it a gift?
It is a gift, but it's also a muscle. And, creativity is absorbed in many different ways. When my kids, as a parent, I would take my kids to the museum, I would expose them to a lot of different things. My mom did the same thing for me too as well. Early, when I was younger, she would take us down to CBS Studios. We'll leave the Bronx and go to Midtown and go to the city, go to Central Park very, very early. So taking us out of the environment, she sent me away to Nunde, New York to live on a farm for 2 weeks, with a white family with the Fresh Air Fund. These things are a life-changing, and it also play into creativity because it helps you to see the world through a different lens. And you can't have tunnel vision as a creative. So for me, it was as much exposure as I could give my kids and as much exposure as I received growing up in an inner city was very, very, I think, crucial to who I became.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. And then studying theater
and
understanding.
And that's probably great for all parents to hear. It's how do you nurture the creative spirit in
Yeah.
your children.
Yeah.
You know, and that is it. That is exposing them to.
We have so much more information that we didn't have then. Like in school, they were just like, oh, she can't keep focused. She's always yapping. You know, every report card said the same thing. No one said attention deficit. No one used those in ADHD.
Nobody
no one
said
used any of
she's
that.
a creative.
No one said that. Even though I showed creativity even from elementary school. I put on my first fashion show in my elementary school. I organized it and produced it.
Of course you did.
It was insane. I was a hustler too, because I needed money, extra money. So I would make book covers. Like at the time when the books, we had to protect our books, our textbooks, because if they came back damaged, your parents would have to pay for them. So we would cover them with, paper. So I was making custom book covers and selling them for 10 cents and 5 cents. I was making crepe paper and sewing pencil holders and selling those at school. So I was very enterprising.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've always, entrepreneurship has always been it's always been ingrained in me, in my DNA.
So creativity is the combination of creativity and entrepreneurship together
right.
that creates a June Ambrose.
Got to be a hustler.
But you know what else too? It's like I was thinking about this earlier too, and this probably pertains to a lot of people even outside what you do. In acts of service, people who are in service business or assistants or secretary or people who support other people or help other people sometimes can get a little bit lost in a secondary position, right? But you have seemed to find a way. You did find a way, not seem to, but you have found a way to make sure, like you said, even with Jay, this is collaborative. And was it always like that? Did you have to find that? Because I could see that people in those type of positions, I admire those type of positions because they do sometimes get lost. I have many friends who support other people.
Of course.
And I'm always like, you need a little bit of main character energy.
But some people don't want it. I had a conversation with my sister yesterday. She's like, I don't want the attention. She was like, you've always liked attention. She's like, we're so different, right? And I'm like, you don't want the attention, but yet when you get a compliment, you come on yourself. I mean, it's like, it's like an orgasm. It's orgasmic. You get it, someone tells you look pretty. No, it's true. I'm sorry.
She loves it.
Everyone. Who doesn't love a compliment?
No, but I understand her. There is a difference. There is a difference, June. I'm like,
but listen.
You would think I'm more like her. I don't enjoy.
I believe you, but I don't feel like, but I feel like you have received what that feels like when you walk into a building. You know what it's like. People recognize you all the time.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate a moment, or I appreciate if I'm in something that makes me feel good, and I get a compliment.
Listen,
I appreciate that.
I'm modest too. Don't get me wrong. I'm very modest, and I can be very shy. I know that's very confusing.
Ambrose, you walk around Manhattan with this hat on your head.
I know.
You are not trying to blend in anywhere. You want to be seen. You are comfortable being seen.
I am, because I like making friends and I like meeting people, and I feel like it's like it attracts the energy that I want. And even if you don't get it, I'll never forget. I got off a plane from LA, and there was this, and this was recent, because I've been wearing these cowboy hats for 3 years now, and the person with the wheelchairs that comes to help people with the wheelchairs, I come off the plane, I have on my cowboy hat and I'm blanket. I'm like, I look like I just came from another planet. And she laughs in my face. And she was like, you look like a witch. This is what she said to me. And I was like, so it comes at a price, right? It's like.
It's the good and the bad.
It could have been bad. It didn't end good for her. But I was like, wow. I could be a victim and actually take offense to what she was saying, or realize that I can't be everything to everyone. So when you think about that, it's like, I go back to artists again. You can't make music, for the audience. You have to make music for yourself that you love, that that's like what it's an expression of who you are. So I thought about it in the same way. My initial reaction was, how dare you?
Right.
I was like, how dare you speak to me that way? Yeah. And I said to her, that is not very nice, because you don't understand, doesn't make it okay for you to speak to me that way.
Good for you.
And it and it was quick because we were hustling, we were walking off the plane. But I had to say it in order to recover. So I like to unpack trauma quick. I don't like to hold on to trauma because that could change how I start to see myself, or, you know, think about the young me, someone's judging you and you immediately think, okay, this didn't work for that person. No one's going to like it. Let me conform to what society finds to be acceptable. And I was just like, I live in the Juniverse, and I believe in the Juniverse there are other planets and tons of stars, and there's this empty space that I can exist in and attract, and that light and all of those things that happens in space is where I'd rather live.
I need my own Juniverse. I need that.
Planet Earth can be cruel.
I know, but we should all have a Juniverse. Like, what is your, what is your
Angieverse?
Like, what is my Angieverse? Everybody should figure out what is the way that you operate through the world that is only yours, and that you protect it so that you don't lose yourself in other people's expectations, opinions, all those things.
But think about it. It's like when artists get on stage, you know, they are immediately transformed. That the energy that you get from the audience, that it's almost like it's a high. You know, it's like when people are like, you know, fame is a drug. You know, people get really intoxicated by it. I don't subscribe to like fame. I subscribe to like energy, right? It's a source. It's at the end of my life, at the end of this journey, I would hope that people remembered the way I made them feel. And I think fashion and style is an expression of that. And however provocative and whatever opinion you may have drawn from what I was presenting, I still made you feel a certain way. And I could live with that. Right? I could live with that. And that's how I want to live my life, constantly reinventing myself.
That's pretty great.
Constantly, you know, I think that's the unlock.
Yes, but you do have to do what you do. There does have to be a certain, like how you said, the difference between you and your sister.
Yeah.
Because I don't think everybody, like you said, some people don't want that.
No, they don't.
I've
come to terms with it.
I do not wish to walk. Sometimes I walk around the city with a gray hoodie on and some whatever, like just that's it. I like blending.
Right.
I just like it.
And it's a trend, right? It's also like a trend, right?
Well, I don't do it to be a trend.
Well, quiet luxury right now, they say.
Okay, well, lucky me.
So you are a timeless,
but that's not my
quiet
point,
luxury.
That is not my point. I'm just acknowledging the difference in types of like personalities where fashion is concerned.
I have to acknowledge it too as well. To be honest, I have to acknowledge it. When I design a collection, when I'm putting out collaborations and co-branding, I have to think about the customer. That it's a very interesting, when you start to create consumer goods, you have to think about that person that doesn't want that much attention. But then you also have to create something that's going to push them a little bit out of their comfort zone, which I've done my entire career. My job is to forecast, is to insist that you feel something in the experience, right? Of transforming, evolving. What we're doing is something very transformative. You know, when you are collaborating with someone and you're in charge of their image and likeness, and sometimes it's not collaborative. Sometimes someone is like, take me, figure it out for me. How, you know, like I can't articulate what it is that I know I want to be. So just show me, and I'll let you know how if it feels right. Sometimes it's like that. It's not always like someone's telling you, you know.
Is that more fun for you?
Yeah, honestly, it is.
I would let you do that. I would let you. I would submit.
I mean, we had this experience before when MTV Awards. You were like, "Oh dear Lord!" You
were
like,
was not a
Angie
good
was like, "I don't want to wear this gold," but we got a lot of attention.
We did.
Angie was so mad at me.
I was so mad. No,
she was like, "You made me the Tin Woman." I was like,
"Here's why I was mad at you."
Was it ladies first?
It was ladies' night.
Ladies' night. Yeah.
It was.
I think we should talk about it, right? Because it's not always going to be, you know.
Because I don't blame you, though, because this is not your fault.
I take responsibility, though.
Yeah, but this is not your fault. Here's what happened. I'm a young girl who gets thrown into this mix with these experienced artists. I was not an artist. I had no real experience in
public, and definitely not performance. Getting on stage, MTV Awards was a big deal. We just, out of nowhere, I just hopped on a song and the song went crazy.
It was crazy.
And we got a Grammy nomination. We're at the MTV Awards. I don't have a team. I don't have a stylist. I don't have all the things that all the other girls had.
You didn't develop that trust yet.
So they did. You were not even my stylist.
I know.
They said to
and you definitely didn't trust me.
Because
you didn't know me.
Because I didn't know you.
You were like,
I didn't know you.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that I didn't trust you.
Yeah.
It's that they said, here, June, take care of her too.
I know.
And I witnessed. What is it? I don't have any. I witnessed.
And I was customing everything then. I was literally
everything.
custom designing everything at that time.
And they gave you this girl.
I think I had a day.
We didn't even collaborate on it.
No.
We didn't have a conversation.
We didn't have
you
time.
didn't take time and say to me, okay, what is...
I didn't get to
what
present
should
sketches.
Angie Martinez,
Who
this young...
is Angie
Who
Martinez?
is Angie? We didn't have any of that.
Right.
They threw me to you.
I was like, this is the theme.
When you
this
were
is what
already
we're
in the
doing.
thing,
Yeah.
you put me in the theme, which was fine.
Yeah.
And then the day of the awards, I had no shoes.
Oh my God. So you remember all the details.
You know why?
I remember those
Because it's in my book. It's in my book.
Oh my God.
I had no shoes. And then I said, well, I'm standing there, we're about to go out, and I have no shoes on my
I had to
feet.
give you Tim's, I think, right?
Somebody came running down and said, June said, wear these. And they were these.
Now she's like, I really hate you.
No, I didn't love you at that moment. They were these big, chunky black shoes, which had we had some time together, you would know these are not the shoes for her.
I'm a perfectionist too.
So I don't blame you because they threw me at you. And that was, you know what I learned in that moment is like, I have to be in control.
Yeah.
But I didn't know better at the time. I was fresh and young, whatever.
Life
But I
experiences.
learned.
Yeah.
I learned because what I would never do
You were
again.
like, this ain't gonna happen again.
I was not going to show up at an event unprepared, not knowing what I was going to wear, not knowing who was going to help me wear.
That's right.
Like I did all
and
of
you
that.
needed your person,
So
not someone
you just
else's,
happened to
right.
be the poor person that was
It was
involved
the
in that
story
experience.
of my life. But I also had to be the person that nurtured that you were unhappy, that you were that you were nervous about everything. Like I recognize all of those things in the moment. And that's why I said
do-over one
yeah,
day?
that's why I said I take responsibility because even though all of these things, of course I left. If you weren't happy, I knew that. I took responsibility for that because it was my job to make sure you were, regardless. So when I say to you, like, that will always sit with me. But, you know, I can't make excuses. And I think a good leader doesn't make excuses. You take responsibility, you apologize, and that's how you, again, unpack the trauma, own it, and move on. Because if I sit and give you excuses, blah, 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 I didn't have time, you were throwing at me. Well, you don't want to hear that.
You know, but like...
Only thing I can look at you and say is, Angie, you are 100% right. I recognize that you're unhappy, and I apologize. And you shouldn't have to experience that. That's my job.
Yeah.
That's my role. That's what I take on when I say yes.
Yeah.
And if I didn't want to take it on, I shouldn't have said yes, but I did. So I have to own it.
But you were young too, by the way.
Of course, but I'm saying, like, I felt it, like I owned it.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy that you were unhappy.
Oh, Junie.
Yeah.
We're gonna
We're gonna have a do-over.
We're gonna have a do-over. I'm gonna wear the June
An anniversary.
naturalizer
Naturalizer,
shoes.
You need more than that. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna do it up.
You know what's so funny? I had this conversation.
I'm gonna name a shoe after you.
Oh, stop.
The Angie.
We had this conversation. I had this conversation a couple months ago with Ferg. You know Ferg.
Yeah, of course.
Do you not love him?
Oh my God, he's amazing.
I just love him.
I love how he sees me too.
How does he see? He probably adores you.
Yeah, it's like this is a different. I recognize our generation is so different from this. He's the new, somewhat. He's in the middle of the new.
Yeah.
He's like, in the middle, right?
Yeah, he's like in the high school.
Yeah,
We're
but there's a generation of young designers, creative directors, that all are like, they
inspired
look back,
by you.
Yeah, and like
path.
even recently, ASAP with and people don't know that I was a costume designer for Belly, and they redid
Belly for
that
Ray-Ban.
scene
Yeah.
for Ray-Ban, and I sit back and I feel so relevant
Because you designed the original scene.
The movie was mine. You
whole
look at the
movie.
film, costume designer June Ambrose.
Yeah.
In the opening credits. So for me, that was, it was great. I could immediately said, Hype and I are texting, Hype Williams and I are texting, and I'm like, this is great,
Yeah. Do you need the recognition for that?
No. I mean, that was enough for me. I mean,
Really?
I'm just used to not getting it.
Yeah. Are you really? I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
What is that? Does that, I don't know, does it eat at you? Do you
I
care?
can't give it that much. I can't give them that much power. Because if I, that's like becoming this victim,
Yeah.
Oh, people are like, oh, you need your flowers. No. I get my flowers. I am very blessed. I am still like in it.
Yeah.
And to me, that blessing, being able, the phone still like that, people still wanting to collaborate with me, being able to bring product to the marketplace, to the larger consumer, being able to have that. I spent 4 years at launching women's basketball at a time when women's basketball wasn't even a thing at Puma. And in the industry, and now look at women in basketball. I was ahead of it. I said, this is something that we need to really get behind and support, like they're counting on us, the same way I felt about hip hop culture, it crossing over into high fashion. So again, when my conversations with A$AP Ferg, it's like, he recognized my contribution, my Busta Rhymes, my Missy Elliott, my Jay-Z, all that stuff that I can't continue to ride on, because to me, it's like 2 decades old.
Yeah, it's fast.
I need to be able to be relevant for something else. I'm glad you guys are but for me, I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a has-been. Yeah. So what do you do? What's your, for me, I'm always like, what's my next?
What's next?
What can I crack and break the mold on next? And, when I was, when I partnered with, Puma to work with them and launch that division, that was for me, that was the next. That was an important task, because you're talking about a culture that we needed to build and form and create, and I was responsible for that. And I like responsibility.
Yeah, you own it. You put your arms around it. But the thing I want to go back to with Ferg, we had this conversation about, I was telling him about an experience that I had. I'd never really been to a fashion show, and there was somebody, we were having this conversation, and somebody was talking about somebody else, and they said, oh, she reeks of effort. And they weren't talking about me. They were talking about somebody else. But
that's what I said.
I felt that. I was like, yeah, she does reek of. I don't want to ever feel like I am reeking of effort. I don't.
Such a fashion snob statement. Though.
It is a snobby statement, but also it's a real life statement, because it's like, do you? Because we were also talking about flow state, and should you have to be trying so hard to impress people, be part of what's hot, what's part of what's popping? Where is the line? Because you're a soulful person too. You're not just a creative or a fashion girl, right? So where is the line between how you present, where fashion is concerned, and what's inside and what matters on the inside? How do you navigate that? Because I'm sure you've even been in some fashion rooms where you're like, oh, these people are full of shit.
I honestly, I don't even consider myself to be a fashion girl.
Really?
It's first of all, everything is so segregated. You go to fashion shows now, you have the editors and the Condé Nast. You have the editorial stylist. You have the music culture athlete, stylist, and then you have the influencers. So everyone's in these buckets, and everyone has an opinion about everyone, and it's a thing. Yeah. And I just want to be in the universe. I don't want to be part of it, because I feel like it's so alienating.
That is the best way to explain it.
It's
what is true to you. Yeah. Is really the answer to the question.
It's you know what? Especially at this age, I'm what do you want from me? I'm just trying to enjoy this time.
I want to wear what feel what to you. What is? Yeah. What is?
I don't want to have to ask permission.
I know, but what is? What do you appreciate about somebody who comes in?
It is ownership. It is looking at someone who I really enjoy watching someone, even when it's quiet luxury and it's super effortless, or I enjoy people trying. So when someone says it's so much effort, thank God, because think about it. Yeah. Well, think about it. Yeah. As a designer, right? If fashion is mute without style, and what is style? It's a language. It's a conversation. It's how you articulate. So if someone doesn't even at least try to tell a story, even if it's effortless or what what they may seem to be like, the Row, very quiet luxury, just a simple T-shirt, and very Hailey Bieber, like very no hats, no bells and whistles. That is what the new acceptable norm is now, right? So society is saying this is what we find to be sophisticated. I would be they would be disgusted by me, because it's just like so many things. But I'm like, but it's me. It's like I've left the house without a hat, and I felt like I left without anything on. I felt naked. I've left without big glasses, or I like punctuation. First of all, I'm 5'2", okay? My hat gives me height, no matter whatever shape I'm doing. And, it's like I'm a little person. And again, I don't want to fit in. I don't want to fit in. I want to, descend on the scene and explode. Yeah, I want to arrive.
I wish for everybody to find their own universe, whatever that is.
Yeah, just like, and if like simplicity is your thing, I enjoy that too. I just love it. I just love when people actually feel like themselves and effortless. Because the swag, when people talk about they have that thing, that swag is what translates everything. That's the unlock. You could put the same outfit on two different people, and the swag is because the translation is really
what is that? What is the definition?
It's persona.
Definition
it's
of
persona
swag.
gratis. It's the definition of swag is persona. It is confidence. It is attitude. It is articulation at its finest, and that's unmatched. So when people are trying to find themselves, just find the thing that really makes you feel like you're speaking your language.
What about to somebody who wants to, I'm sure we have a lot of women that watch the pod. What about if somebody's bored where they're at, or they wear the same things all the time, they do the same things all the time, and they want to switch?
They want to reimagine.
Yeah. What is the recommendation there?
I think that you have to step outside of those kind of people typically like to just kind of admire and think, because I hear this a lot. Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, I can't pull that off. But have you tried? And it could be as simple as changing your lip color, cutting your hair. It doesn't have to be a full overhaul. It could be adding a color if you never wear color. If you're a person that only wears like khaki, black and white, or like very neutrals, and you throw a neon in there, or you throw, like a primary color in there, you've reimagined and reinvented yourself because you've tried something that is not, or perfect example, taking something out of context. Like when I'm creating a design, I'm working on something, I'm always taking out of context. Early in my career, my signature in design was taking athletic silhouettes and merging them with luxurious fabrics, leather, suedes, pony. I was taking, the silhouettes were very traditional. A denim jacket or a track jacket silhouette, I was reimagining, these things. And that's really what design is. You're reimagining, something.
What works.
It's the interpretation of, You're reimagining a silhouette. You're giving it different shape and form, how the peplum's been around forever, but are we using horse here to give it shape and give it stiffness? Like, what is that fabric and that, the juxtaposition of that pattern that's going to disrupt? Am I doing a blouson sleeve on a track jacket opposed to a traditional drop shoulder or raglan inset sleeve? But adding those little details is design, reimagine. And, I think about style in the same way. It's how you interpret and take things out of context to make it your own, is how you create a conversation.
So there's no generic tips. There's no tip across the board that works for everybody. Like, don't do this, do that. There's none of that.
I mean, I wrote a book about it, and it was very generic. It had all the effortless style, how to achieve iconic style. Effortless style was the name of my book, and it was very commercial 101 on how to achieve iconic style with ease.
Yeah.
And it had all of the generic things.
We can go back to
the fundamentals, right? But we're beyond that now, right?
Yeah.
We're at the point where we have to make people uncomfortable. It's okay. Uncomfortable is a good feeling. When you first meet someone, you're nervous, you have butterflies, you don't know if you like this person, but you're getting to know them, you're trying them on. Like when our daughter first started dating, we were like, you got to try on different shoes, different, try, I'm not saying go out and be a slut. I'm just saying, date. Date. It's okay to date and meet someone and see if you have chemistry.
Get to know different types of personalities.
It's the same thing with discovering the new you, discovering your style. I'm always going to metaphorically and draw interpretations from different life experiences for you to find yourself when it comes to style. Maybe that's the second book.
I love that as a book.
Thank you, Angie.
I'm buying the book. I would buy that book right now.
Yeah.
Where is the line between dressing for yourself and dressing for other people? Because they say, like, when you walk in a room, how people will judge you immediately, and there's reasons why people want to look nice when they go to things.
Right.
It's like for other people. But where is the line between being in your universe and dressing for outside approval, opinion?
It's for me, it's like, are you naked or do you have on clothes? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like,
What do you mean?
I've broken down into my bra and panties on social media. People thought I was having a life crisis. But I was basically trying to express that self-awareness, self-confidence, being okay with who and what you are is enough. And when you start to feel like just stripped down, that's enough, then starting to layer things on top of that starts to feel a little bit more tangible. And it relates back to silhouettes, like finding that silhouette that really makes you feel confident and is flattering to your body, both men and women. It comes from there's a clinical psychology to that, how you get to that place. Why you may see, certain people wearing things that are ill-fitting and they have no idea that it's sabotaging their bodies, because in their minds, they have come to terms with how they look physically, and they're like, I'm gonna wear whatever. There is an honesty there that even though we may have an opinion about it, that I have to admire. And that is like,
you put that on and you came outside and you felt
you own it.
you own.
So I have to respect that.
Yeah.
Now, I may have an opinion about it where I feel like my opinion is to like, I could offer you something that could be a lot more flattering, but will it disrupt what you have psychologically, that journey that you've been on? I don't want to compromise. So again, it takes time and the experience of working with someone like myself, it's an evolution, and it's a psychological understanding of what people need to feel confident and to step out in something that they didn't initially own. And we didn't initially own this, but we owned our skin, our body, our flesh. We own that. Why I was like, my body's my temple. I went vegan. I was like, to me, that is the first thing you take care of.
The temple.
The temple. And then the confidence is built off of all of that. You feel good. Energy is important.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's maintenance. So people are like, oh my God, how do you have so much energy? I protect it. I protect my energy. I protect my space. I protect who's in my circle.
You take care of your temple?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because,
you eat well.
I eat well.
You exercise.
I live well. Yeah, I exercise. Oh, not as much as I should, but
Yeah.
I feel like getting out of the bed
June,
and walk.
I see you dancing around.
I do get my steps in, but I would like to start to do a little bit more focused workout. Like strength training is definitely my focus right now.
Yeah.
Muscle mass, that's very important. But I wouldn't mind taking like a Pilates and a little Bikram to keep my joints loose, Aging is cruel. It can be cruel. Aging can be very cruel.
I know. How do you deal with that? Especially in your world.
Oh my God.
Where everything is so visual. I mean,
Yeah.
you look amazing.
Thank you. I feel good.
You should feel
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
But it probably becomes a little hard as you get older. It's harder to maintain
Yeah.
the looking and feeling good.
I mean, honestly, like I get down a little bit. Like, you know, first of all, comparison will rob you of all your joy.
Yeah.
So I try not to, like, whenever I feel like that feeling of like, oh my God, like this is happening, and then you're looking around you and people are equating like age to relevancy. It's like, I hate ageism. It's like so horrible that people, like, you know, you get a certain age and they're like, auntie. That's why I'm like, don't call me auntie.
I hate an auntie.
Like, if you're gonna Mama June me, great, but you better be in your 20s,
Yeah.
not in your 40s. Like, it kills me. You know, it kills me when they start. So I'm not a fan of that because I know what that attracts and what's the connotation behind it. So I'm always like, they're like, oh, that's out of respect. You want to respect me, call me Miss Ambrose or, you know, Miss June or whatever. You want to have respect like a Southerner, fine. But auntie, you know, it's a little bit very personal.
Yeah, I'm not into it either.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you're not into it. Because
Mary hates it too.
Right? It's like, and
Mary
it's like,
hates it.
It's like, what are you trying to say? You know what I mean? Because you know how they be slick talking. You got to catch them quick, them little slick talkers, and they be trying it. I'm like, that's slick talk.
What about?
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, it's all answers.
I can evade
There's no
things.
right or wrong answers.
I know. It's like
we just go places. We just go places. I like to just go places.
I can evade a question really quickly.
I loved the story about On the Run. I wonder about, like, because even to go back to that day of me being in that, you know, I always kind of struggled with weight.
Yeah.
Like me, I was up and down, right?
Me too.
And so even back then, even in that moment that we talked about with the MTV Awards, I was probably like, you know, I couldn't really wear what Little Kim was wearing.
Right. Oh my God, remember that?
Right. I couldn't wear, you know, I didn't really feel that, but I remember like what you did with Missy.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and
we got so much shit for that.
What?
I think we were like on the. Here's the thing about that. We were like on the worst dress list. We was like, yeah.
Wait for that.
I did the plaid hat with the matching golfer cleats and the little thing,
yes.
right? And I remixed the Adidas track jacket, and people were like this. Next, that season, Dior runway, plaid sportswear, clam diggers, fabric covered plaid cleats. Okay, listen.
Ooh.
So sometimes you have to take the risk, and
maybe we do a golf. Let's do a golf outfit.
Let's do it big.
Let's do it huge.
Let's do it big. Let's do it very collaborative so people can buy into it.
Okay, I'm into it.
Not a one-off. I think big now. I think enterprising, honey.
Okay,
it's
let's talk about
listen. That's another conversation. No one-offs. We're building empires.
We'll get to that later. But look, Brittany, she loves it. She's like, yes, I love this.
Could you imagine the two of us? So shit.
No, but you know, Missy, who was not the sample size either. You found a way to make her fly, and even those Adidas suits. It's like I was like, oh,
yeah.
I'm so happy that these are in style because you were like studying them out and then I started wearing those and feeling cute and feeling like I was in a, you know, and
that you had some creative license, right?
Yes.
Right, because we took creative license and that IP we took so much creative license. I was able to go to Adidas and do the first collaboration artist. Well, not the first, because they did Run DMC, but Missy, in terms of in her genre.
I remember.
At the time, female artist, first collaboration, Respect Me. I was a creative director with it and with her on it, and that was before. So you see all these collaborative like partnerships now, and it's like I'm gonna say it out loud. We did it in the 2000s. We did it,
and that talk your shit.
Yeah, and it's not. It's like we did it because we knew that we were worthy of it. But those seeds, I think, adjusted the way those big brands saw our culture and the power of our influence and the impact that it was going to have. And not just from you taking and culture vulturing it, but you had to partner. You had to partner. And we made it a thing. So the prerequisite was if you want to play this game, you have to play it with us. We have to be on the team. Yeah. And I look at everything now and and everyone talks about it like it's like so new.
And you're like, been there, did that.
I was like, okay,
Heard you.
gotcha.
Hey guys, Boost Mobile is proving that you do not have to overpay for great wireless. Unlock the savings with the $25 a month forever unlimited plan. It's a permanent price with no contracts and no price hikes. So you can keep your phone, your number, and you can save up to $600 a year compared to other major carriers. So stop overpaying and switch to a fair price at boostmobile.com and do it today. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com. This is our IRL voice note presented by Boost Mobile. It is a little segment that we do where somebody sends you, our guest, June Ambrose, a voice note. So let's have that.
I just have to tell you that I absolutely love and adore you, everything that you stand for Black culture, for Black women, and also the drops you've been having on Styletics. I love and need every pair in every color. Okay, now that that's out the way, June, I have to ask you about Black designers, because I'm noticing this pattern where Black designers who have shaped culture and that we all love get dragged the second they make one mistake. And other major retailers do far worse with zero public consequence. And I think about how one article from The Cut essentially took down Pierre Moss, and how most recently with Hanifa, she's getting dragged left and right on the internet because of delayed orders. But I'm like, Shein has delayed orders all the time, and I don't see any TikToks or think pieces or anything like that about that. Y'all love to go back to Shein, you know what I mean? And as someone who is a legend and OG in the fashion industry, I wanted to ask you, what does responsible accountability actually look like for Black brands? Especially knowing that the margin of error is so thin, and one bad press cycle or one bad article can be lights out for their business.
Wow.
Well, that's loaded and so provocative and so honest and so true and so sad and so makes me angry, you know. It makes me angry for so many reasons, because we are our worst enemy, you know. And I always tell, young designers, and I've had this conversation with Laquan Smith early in his career. I used to tell him, stop chasing retail. And this was before there was a Telfar. I was like, what Telfar built without retail is what I was telling Laquan. Focus on production, manufacturing, all of those things. You're chasing retail that has the ability to destroy your business. And yeah, you'll get there, but you have a community and a culture that has your back and that will show up for you. And that's the thing, right? It's like we will ride at dawn for designers in the beginning. But like the young lady said, it's like as soon as there's no grace but we've always been held to higher standards where we have to work harder. As Black people, we're not afforded the same opportunities. The discrimination is, and I'm speaking about the discrimination from the access perspective, in terms of supply chains, in terms of factors that you would need to fund to get the product made. You know, being able to get that factor to give you that money so that you can produce the collections. It's always a challenge for Black designers. Sometimes they have to take off seasons. Sometimes they go away. They just lose steam. They just can't. It's just so heartbreaking. They sacrifice so much when others, and it's all financing. It's all about money. So if something's late, it's because they couldn't, it's access and financing, and it's so frustrating. So it's like with all of these companies that really want to support emerging designers, that's kind of like the thing that needs to take priority, is making sure that they have sustainable partners in manufacturing and production. That back end of the business is so key, and for me, why I've done partnerships more so than put out my own product is because that financial exposure is heavy. And I wasn't willing to take that risk for that very reason.
I still have my June Ambrose glasses. I still have them in my closet, and I still wear them all the time.
They're still selling too.
They're
iconic,
so good.
yeah. Like on my
I bust them
superhero.
out now, and I wore them maybe a month ago. I bust out I have a brown pair,
Amazing.
the square ones, And I saw Fat Joe, and he was like, those glasses are fire.
Oh, I love
like,
it.
Classic June Ambrose.
Thanks, Joe, because Joe said it best. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I still have my
He's an icon. He's an icon.
For sure. Wow. That was a great question, by the way.
Yeah, it was a really great question. did I answer it? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know what I would like to know? Like, I love the story you tell about going to On the Run and how J and B were the perfect people for you to be around in that time. And because this is in real life, and we hear the stories of how you dressed Missy in that iconic video, or Busta in that iconic video. I wonder if you could share some of like your real life connection or real life moments that come to you from some of these people. Like, I don't know, we can pick. Will you have something?
Wait, where to go?
What were you going to say?
No. You.
I was going to tell you artists that you've worked with. And
Okay, go.
And if like a real life experience.
It's always real life experiences because.
All right, let's see what you have. Mariah Carey.
Oh my God, yeah. So, Mariah hates like wearing bags. Like she doesn't carry a bag. Doesn't. So I came in on the emancipation of Mimi, and she also hates trying on clothes. So I literally.
A woman after my own heart.
The way I would get her to wear something, is to put it on and walk into the room, and she'd be like, "Take it off."
That's good.
Or like the caftan, like the Tory Burch caftan, what people thought was a dress was a caftan. We made it into a dress. Like I understood her, right? So it's like,
because that's what it would take. It would take you, because some people could be taken back by that, or
I would be like, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
I'd be like, because having female experiences is so different from your experience with a male client. Some girls can handle me, and some girls can just be like, I just go away. Right? Just like go away. So, but like true, like girls that are like super like confident and just think I'm the funniest thing. They get it. They're not bothered by me. I can name a number of those women. But another like thing with Mariah, we would always I would always role play with her. We would literally just do movie quotes all day. Mommy Dearest or Clueless, like literally that's how we would speak to each other. It was not even like a real conversation, moving quotes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's a great one.
Yeah.
All right. Busta Rhymes.
Oh my God, so many.
Too many.
Oh my God. First of all, like kudos to like, you think about, you're looking at Harry Styles now and you're like, oh, this cross-dressing is so like, he does it so, but I had put Busta in, he was wearing halters and shit back then, the most feminine cuts ever.
But he's so masculine.
Wrapping his head up in turbans and covering Timberland boots. I was custom designing Timberlands, like literally covering them with like fabulous, expensive fabrics, Indian fabrics and stuff like that. It made him the royal sultan of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, and he was always like, he was the best. Like he's still the best. Like he was down for it. He was down for it. Like every set that we ever did, the Busta Rhymes Janet Jackson music video, like he was down for us putting multiple pieces on, sitting in prosthetics. I made him a muscle suit before. I mean, like I can name the amount of outrageousness that I've done with Busta that he literally, still to this day, I mean, he has no regrets.
Oh, I love that.
No regrets. I don't think that he feels like he has the license to be wear like a halter now. I don't think his body's changed. But do
you still work with him?
No, I don't. But we're friends and we stay in touch. He's great. And I consult him. He calls me. He needs something. He's like, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, "Perfect."
Oh,
yeah. I'm like,
cute.
Yeah. I'm on a speed dial.
Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
I know.
It's my sister, my heart. Yeah. We just did that tour together. So, Missy, people don't realize Missy's never been on tour in her career. Headlined her own tour.
Oh, that's right. This was the first. That's crazy.
This was the first.
Wow.
Out of This World was this first. And she came to me, and I don't take that lightly, because she could have very well collaborated with a big fashion house. But she entrusted that in me, and that to me was such a testament of her character, her understanding and respect for the collaboration early.
She trusts you.
Yeah, it's just like, it just makes me emotional that after all these years, and there's so many distractions and people that she could, like I said, have worked with, that she allowed the universe to work with her on that.
You did well by her.
Thank you.
Her.
We had a good time on that tour. We had some fun.
My girl, Mary J. Blige.
Oh my God, I love Mary. Mary thinks I'm batshit crazy.
What do you mean?
Every time Mary sees me, she goes, "Girl." But she gets me though. She'd be like, "June, you're like, Mary, like I said, I think the best interview I've seen of Mary in forever was the one where she sat and talked to you."
Thank you.
Because for Mary, energy and authenticity and real talk and real is paramount to her.
It's everything.
And she could smell when you're being a fake bitch. And I love her for that. She'll come in and she'll read the room quick. Mary will come in with attitude. She'll see me, she'll hate you. Like, because she knows, you know what I mean? Like,
the energy is good.
I'm only going to show up as who I am. And I love and respect her so much. And every time I've worked with Mary, we have giggled and had a good time. She thinks I'm nuts. But you know what? It's interesting when you say, sometimes when you're in a service business and you've kind of, you said, I managed to kind of be able to live in those two worlds, right? Like, artists like Mary respect and sees and recognizes that, to where she'll like, come in my video. Like, we could be girlfriends and I'm like in the music video with her, starring in the video with her. Whereas like another artist would be like, you're the help. You're not going to be in my music video as a girlfriend. We're walking down the hallway together. Like, she has that like real Zendaya kind of relationship with her, with her stylist kind of energy. And I thought that was like, it said a lot about like who she was and her confidence and as a woman. I love that.
She's the best, right?
The best.
You did like, I know you worked with Puff for many years, and
Yeah.
Bad Boy.
Yeah.
And what about the guys? Like,
Yeah.
what about them? And
Completely like, that the dynamic between like male artists is like that safe place, that trusted, place. It's like getting a prostate exam. It's like, you gotta. That was a good scenario. It's like, no, but it's like, it's intimidating.
No,
it can
I
be
get
to
it.
work with, like, I'm a very strong communicator when it comes to like style with men. I present differently from the girls.
You do?
Yeah. There's a different character.
Yeah.
But it's always a place of, you don't have to pretend with me. We could just.
How do you
And
feel,
also, it's
feel in
important that with men that you really, they have to be in the driver's seat in a way. It's such a vulnerable place. It's like, it's just a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Different dynamic.
With Jay too, I would imagine, right?
Oh yeah, but he's great. I mean, like, he's like, like he is the epitome of effortless, like the sweat. Like, we're at the point, it's like 30 years later, it's not even.
What do you mean?
He styles himself.
He does.
Yes, it's like we just hang out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's an icon.
Yeah. Yeah.
The work is, he's an icon. Like, it doesn't matter. We could be it could be a t-shirt. We have fun. It's like it's not work.
It's not pressure. Yeah.
It's just, it's like, if I want to like.
What is he like or not like? Like, I
Oh
mean,
my
he's had to
God.
grow into that too. I would imagine he wasn't like that
I
at the
still
beginning.
challenge and push him certain things.
You do?
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Because, we're evolving.
Yeah.
We have to try.
Have you ever pissed him off? Have you ever made him wear something and then he did not appreciate it after? It was like, that didn't work. I mean, has that ever happened?
Maybe on my end, I might have noticed it and was like, but no, I don't think. Yeah, pissed off. No, because like, we don't even go there if it doesn't feel good.
You just on to the next.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's like he's too seasoned.
Yeah.
It's like, it's different than working with a new artist versus like,
Is he the only one that you've been with from the beginning and
Yeah,
throughout?
he's my I think he's my only guy right now. He's my only.
He's your
I'm
only
like
guy.
retired in a sense. Like, I focus more on design, creative direction.
Yes.
Not to say that I wouldn't do, like, I still love music video. I still love creative, like, projects, like, like campaigns and all that kind of stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah. But you keep him as a client still.
Yeah,
Forever.
Where we gonna go? Like, it's like, I think it's, I mean, nothing's forever, but it's forever in my head.
I love that.
Yeah.
And why, June, have you not been invited to the
No,
Met
we
Met
had
Gala?
this conversation on the cut, and everyone got very upset. Not the cut,
Why?
on
Why did
on,
they get upset?
on Complex.
Why did they get upset?
Well, my husband was like, "You sound like you were complaining." He was like, "It's embarrassing."
All right,
because
he
felt
complain,
like he
because
felt
you don't
like
really
it-
care. Here's the question.
The truth, right?
Here's the
The truth-
question. Do you think you
It's a-
should be invited
No,
to
I
the
mean,
Met
it's a
Gala?
fundraiser. Am I spending? Well, my mother always said, "Invited guests get treated the best." I've been. I don't know if I was invited though.
But you've been.
I've been years and years and years ago. But, you know. Do I care?
Yeah, do you care that you weren't?
Oh, no, because it's a fundraiser.
Right.
No, I don't actually.
You're thinking about your husband's voice in your
No,
head right now,
I
aren't you?
go. Yeah,
You look like
I
you're
think
complaining.
I think I'm so.
You're past it.
I am so past it. I recognize what it is. They raise a lot of money for the
But
institute.
you've got, how many people have you gotten ready for the Met Gala?
Oh, not a lot. It's
Really?
not my thing.
Oh.
Yeah, not a lot. No.
No. Have you done it? Have you
I
dressed
mean,
up?
I did. Oh, yeah, but you know, if you bring that up, then we have to talk about the last time he was seen.
Oh.
Was that was the look?
Uh-huh.
The Darth Vader. That was, I did Puff for the.
Yes, and the all black. Ooh.
Yeah, I designed that look.
How does that make you feel looking back at that look?
It was appropriate. Yeah, it was appropriate. Wow, and you think about it, those black roses and the darkness. Wow. Yeah, and that was the picture that ran everywhere. There's so much heartbreak.
It's heartbreaking that, I know, I'm
Disappointment and disappointment. I don't want to have to not talk about the great things that I worked on and did.
sure. Yeah.
It's really annoying.
That is annoying.
Because there's so many iconic moments, and you ruin it for everyone that was involved.
It's so funny.
I'm just
I was just talking
disappointed.
about that
I'm
the
just
other day. When
disappointed.
something happens like that, even this thing with Puff, it's like
Yeah.
the artists that, I had 112 and a Total, they were on tour and they came on the
Ooh.
show. And I couldn't talk
How did
to
they
them
speak
about
about it?
They spoke about it very lightly and carefully, as
Right,
they should.
yeah.
Because it's not their burden to carry,
That's
as
right.
it's not your burden
That's
to
right.
carry. But part of your history, you've done.
is.
It's like, so what? You're supposed to act like you didn't do great things with
Right,
that.
and
it's like when the
and-
Cosby Show gets canceled, so we don't get to
We
see
love the Cosby Show.
because that guy, the one guy.
I mean, if people really go back and look at my resume, my discography, I've done some, there's a lot of things that I don't talk about. Big music videos, groundbreaking, and because the muse has been exiled into life imprisonment and stuff. It's just.
How do you feel about it? Does it make you sad or?
Yeah, it makes me. Culturally, it's doesn't do it. It's not good for the culture. Mm-mm. It's not good for. How does it serve any of us to not and to celebrate what the downfall of it, to not all just be disappointed and disgusted. It's like, how are we not sad behind that?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I was
to be
sure sad.
yeah. You're outraged by like the acts, right? But like we've seen this chaos before, but to be so close to it is really heartbreaking. Because some of it you didn't see that side, you didn't, and it's like the fact that you were held to different regards, then you start to feel like
because you never
guilty.
experienced
No.
any of that. Of course not. No, right.
there's probably been a hospitalization. It's just
Yeah, no, I get it.
Angie, we've grown up around
Please,
these guys.
I know.
But we were held we were held
Yeah, for
we
sure.
were dealt with differently, and I don't know what it is about us. But
Because I'm not. We're not doing that.
we're not. That's not.
Yeah.
And it's like you raise your voice. My mom didn't yell at me. I didn't grow up in that kind of home. So, and I know that hurt people. So the way I dealt with people that were acting out, it was in a very, and because like you said, you recognize I'm empathic in that way, and I'm able to really shift energy and make people feel safe, that they don't have to perform when they're within in our sacred space. you don't have to perform for me. This is just us. And I see you. I see how. I see your. I see.
Yeah, we're
I see
managing.
how vulnerable.
We manage personalities. We manage all types of characters, and for sure.
But there are like I said, early in my life, I knew there were consequences to actions, and to every action, there's a consequence, good or bad.
Yeah. It affects you though too, your history and all. Yeah.
So it's like that part's sad. That part's a drag.
Yeah.
But the Met Gala is going to be really exciting this year because Beyonce is.
So how does that shift?
I mean, it doesn't affect me. I don't style Beyonce.
I know, but just her being part of that, I don't know.
It's exciting. I mean, she hasn't been in a while, so she always brings excitement. She's like, it's like when Rihanna started going to the Met, we would wait to see what Rihanna would come with at the end.
Yeah.
Like the carpet would be closed and Rihanna will show up.
Me too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, we're.
But her cheering it, does that mean anything?
I don't really know what that means.
Oh, okay.
I know that recently they just. I don't know what that mean. What that responsibility
it might
is.
mean?
She has to stand at the top of the.
Maybe you'll get an invite this year.
Oh well, Anna still controls everything.
Oh yes, okay. Let us not. No, Anna, come on now, Anna.
My daughter's name is Summer, so we love the summer.
We're gonna leave it right there.
Hey guys, support for this podcast is brought to you by Walden University. Have you ever thought to yourself, what if I could go after what I actually want and I could really make a difference? Well, you are not alone. And this is exactly why I want to tell you about Walden University. For over 50 years, Walden has helped working adults like you get the W with the knowledge, the skills, and everything you need to build the future that you want. And you can make a difference where it matters most. If you've been waiting for the right moment, this is it. Head to waldenu.edu and take that first step. Walden University set a course for change, certified to operate by Chev. All right, so this is our IRL Bowl of Questions, of real life questions.
Oh my God, it's so intimidating.
No. You're an amazing.
Oh, I pick?
Yeah, you pick whatever you like.
God. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be? Ooh.
It's in your hat. The thing is in your hat. The paper is in your hat.
When your hat's too big. If you could instantly master any skill, what would it be?
Yeah. That?
No. Yeah. No. Woo! Any skill. Sketching. I'm not a good sketcher. I sketch very loose. It's like kindergarten, but like real.
So getting the idea out of your brain onto the paper is sometimes hard, I would imagine, if you're not a great sketcher.
I've thank God for technology because I can now sketch through, do digital sketching, but yeah.
Okay, go for another one. Give me 3. Let's do 3.
A prayer or affirmation you say often. Oh God. It's almost a serenity prayer, I always ask for God to give me grace, for the things that I cannot do. I mean, I'm a sober drunk, so I don't even understand how to say it. But yeah, I literally constantly say, what I don't get done today, I put off to tomorrow and give myself grace constantly. It's okay. I always affirm that it's okay. I'm enough and it's okay. Yeah, this didn't work out.
That's how you hold on to that joy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's okay. I'm like,
Take another one. And then I have a couple here, and then we're.
Oh, you got more. Mm-hmm. What have you always wanted to do but haven't? Oh, this is loaded. There's so many things because I feel like, oh my God, I want to go to India.
Yes.
I want to eat, love, and pray.
Oh my God, your outfits in India are going to be fire.
India's on my bucket list, and I've traveled the world.
Yeah.
But India is on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I know you're probably like, why India? Yeah, India.
No, I would totally love to go to India also.
Yeah. And I want to see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
Okay, June, I am no longer available for. Come on, you got it.
I am no longer available for brain picks. It's like, oh my God, I want to pick your brain. Okay, but how does that serve me if you're just picking and not giving anything?
I love that.
Yeah, it's like,
What are you giving me?
yeah, I want something. You just pick. I'm giving. I'm always giving. We are giving.
For sure. And it takes a lot to have a brain worth picking. It takes a lot of effort and work you have to put into yourself to have a brain worth picking. So it's like, if I'm putting so much effort into doing this, what effort are you bringing by picking it?
Well, I know it sounds like probably, is that rude when you say like, how does it serve me? I mean,
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It should.
I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't give. I'm just saying like, you can't just keep picking my brain.
No, I think it's important
You know?
to give when you have something to give.
Yeah, I'm no longer available for people who don't see what I see in myself. And I only want to be
value
around.
you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Heard you.
Yeah.
I felt that deep in my soul. When I walk into a room, I want people to feel.
Like they want to dance. So you want to dance? No, I want them to feel. Yeah, I want them to feel joy. I want them to feel like it's going to be okay. Yeah, like whatever is going on in their world, like I can just escape with this moment with June.
What do you like most about yourself, June?
Oh, I think my ability to see the best in people before I see the worst. I will always see the goodness first. I don't look for what could be wrong with you. I look for what is right about you from inception. That's, I think, one of my best attributes. And people always say, "Oh, you always see the good in everybody." People like that get taken advantage of. But I don't think it's being taken advantage of. I think it's, my mother always gave people grace. When they wronged her, when they did things that made her cry, she was always really able to forgive and give them grace, and always found a reason why they did what they did. And that is who I am.
That's who I am too. So I understand that completely.
Yeah, it's like
but I do
understand,
though that personality does get taken advantage of.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So how do you protect yourself from that?
There is a grace of God. There is a higher power, thank God, that most things, I don't feel like I have to carry a lot of what this world has put on our backs to carry. Sometimes I just
Give it to God.
give it to God. Yeah.
Speaking of God, it's my favorite question in the bowl, and we will end with that one. If God were to text you right now, what would it say?
I've prepared you. So sorry.
That's okay.
I have prepared you for everything that's coming your way. And be still.
June Ambrose,
Thank you.
in real life. Why'd that make you so emotional?
It does.
That's so good. No, that's so good. That question does it. I don't know what it is about that, because it's like the realest thing ever.
Yeah, because it's like,
What?
Sometimes you don't think you're being seen, but everyone's paying attention. And when I called you and I said I need to come sit and talk, you said yes. So thank you.
Thank you for trusting me. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. June Ambrose in real life, everybody. You can't leave crying. We gotta leave in joy. Give me some joy. This joy? Is this, what is this? This joy?
Yes, it is.
Oh, this is
I'm
joy.
so happy. Yeah.
So this is joy.
Yeah. I joy is when you feel safe, when you feel
Seen?
That is joy. And people are like, oh, I was like, I want to be seen. And people some people don't want to be seen. I want to be seen. It's like, if I'm not seen, well, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like at the end of our lives, am I not supposed to have existed? Like, I think that's what I think about the most with my mom being gone. I constantly say her name because her legacy is the fact that she was here, that she created me, that she gave me this life. And if I don't continue to celebrate that, then it was as if she didn't, like she wasn't here.
So you're being seen for her.
Yeah, people move on. And we leave this earth, we move on. We leave. We have to all leave. And what is your legacy? I mean, my kids, like the way I changed culture, the way I made people think, the way I made people feel. That's my legacy. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably why you're so emotional. Because
That's why I'm so emotional.
Because you carry the weight of honoring your mother
Yeah.
by being seen.
Yeah. It's like
Right?
a little girl growing up an immigrant. I came to this country. I wasn't born in this country. I'm an immigrant. So when I see immigrants, the way they're being tortured now, I know the sacrifices that immigrants have, leaving their country to come to this country for a better life, and this is not a better life. And like, wait, hold on. Where I came from, as in always, every time some immigrant comes here, it's not because they're running from something. They're running towards something. And when that is being misinterpreted, that part, I take real personal, and that part hurts, because I know what it's like to come to this country as an immigrant and to have gotten my citizenship and to, I pay my part, I do my part.
Shifted culture.
I shifted culture. We've built empires, billionaires and millionaires, and we share that, you know what I mean? The adjacentness of success is super important to me. So if I'm successful, anyone that's in the universe should be successful too.
And you are your mother's legacy.
I am my mother's legacy. Yeah, I owe it to her.
June Ambrose.
Thank you. Now I smile. You made me cry. This is June Ambrose in real life.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and check out all of the other episodes we have on Angie Martinez IRL Podcast.